catastrophe in California. A Los Angeles disaster movie roars to life.
Whoa! This was like an 80-mile-an-hour.
It was a scene ripped straight out of an apocalyptic movie. Only this time, it wasn't a Hollywood production. It was heartbreakingly real. On January 10th, 2025, Los Angeles found itself in the grip of a ferocious wildfire, the likes of which hadn't been seen in decades. The blaze devoured everything in its path: trees, homes, entire neighborhoods, leaving a trail of ash and despair in its wake. The sky? Oh, it was something else. A fiery red-orange hue cloaked the city, turning day into an eerie dusk. If you were standing on a hill overlooking the valley, you'd see the flames licking at the horizon, their roar almost drowning out the distant wail of sirens. The chaos was palpable. Imagine being stuck on highways that refused to move, your radio blaring warnings while the pungent smell of smoke crept into every crevice of your car. It was a day when time seemed to move both too quickly and not at all, with lives hanging in the balance. But let's talk about the people, the ones caught in the crossfire of this fiery nightmare. Residents scrambled to evacuate with whatever they could grab, their minds racing faster than their feet. Families were shouting across driveways, their voices strained with urgency. "Where's the cat? Have you seen the cat?" Cars were stuffed to the brim with hastily packed suitcases, photo albums, and anything else that screamed, "This matters most." Shelters overflowed within hours, their parking lots looking like patchworks of makeshift campsites. Through it all, the unspoken fear was universal. Will there be anything left when this is over? And yet, even in that harrowing moment, the stage was being set for something remarkable. A story no one would have expected, because amidst the smoke and despair, a certain figure, famous yet humble, was quietly stepping into the fray. When disaster strikes, your instincts kick in, often faster than your mind can process what's happening. For the people of Los Angeles that day, decisions had to be made on the fly. And those decisions, they often came with a heavy cost. Picture this: a father standing in his living room, surrounded by the clutter of daily life. His hands hover over a shelf lined with family mementos, photos of his kids, his late mother's jewelry box, but the blaring evacuation alert snaps him back. He grabs his laptop, some important documents, and a handful of clothes, leaving behind pieces of his life he'll never get back. Across the street, a young woman frantically stuffs a backpack, realizing halfway through that there's no room for her high school yearbooks or the stuffed animal her grandma gave her years ago. Those sentimental treasures? They stay behind as she races to save what she can carry. But it's not just the big stuff that weighs on you. It's the moments of what if. What if you took one more second to grab that heirloom? What if you left earlier and avoided the gridlock now stretching for miles? There's something raw about these choices, isn't there? They strip away the fluff of life, forcing you to see what really matters. And yet, as people scrambled to protect their essentials, some were struck by a gut-wrenching realization. Not everything important fits in a suitcase. Conversations were quick and strained. "Did you grab the passports?" "No, but I've got the charger." The irony of it all? Those decisions, those split-second calls, weren't just about survival. They were about priorities, identity, and what we choose to hold on to when the world starts to burn. And while many people were focused on saving themselves, one individual, someone unexpected, was focused on saving others. In the middle of the chaos, when everyone was focused on their own survival, there he was, Keanu Reeves, a face everyone knew, but a hero no one expected. The actor wasn't there for a movie premiere or some glitzy event. No, he was right in the thick of it, sleeves rolled up, helping people in ways that seemed almost surreal. Witnesses say he was a whirlwind of action, carrying cages of frightened pets, directing panicked families to safer routes, and, incredibly, staying calm through it all. Imagine seeing a celebrity, someone who could have easily stayed away from the danger, sweating alongside first responders. People were dumbfounded. One evacuee, holding back tears, recounted, "He didn't even hesitate. He just grabbed my dog and told me to follow him. Who does that?" And it wasn't just his physical presence, it was the aura of calm he carried with him. Picture this: a crowd of people milling about, fear etched on their faces as smoke thickened in the air. Keanu stands at the center, his voice cutting through the panic like a beacon. "We're gonna get through this. One step at a time. Stick together and don't give up." The words weren't fancy, but they were exactly what people needed to hear. In moments like that, he wasn't just an actor, he was a leader, a source of strength for people who felt their world crumbling around them. And the thing about Keanu, he didn't make a big deal about it. No cameras, no entourage, just a man doing what he could to help. But this was only the beginning. What he did next cemented his place in their hearts forever. As the wildfire raged on, stories of survival and heroism began to surface, but one stood out among them all: Keanu Reeves' extraordinary courage in rescuing those most at risk. In the haze of ash and the cacophony of panic, Keanu spotted an elderly woman stranded on her porch, her frail frame silhouetted against the advancing flames. Without a second thought, he sprinted toward her, weaving through fallen branches and debris. "Ma'am, we've got to get you out of here," he said, his voice steady despite the chaos. She clung to his arm as he guided her to safety, her oxygen tank dragging behind. Later, she recounted tearfully, "He treated me like I was the only person that mattered. I wouldn't have made it without him."